Hey Tada, we are back with another video. Today I want to expose some lies by the state. Okay, when Advocate Baloyi was cross-examining Gwabini, Gwabini said when he was arrested, there was a red GTI Polo that was driven by Mukhane. But Baloyi said, no. Gwabini were lying because that Polo had an accident and then was written off. Apparently, the accident occurred on the 4th of June 2020. So, Gwabini was arrested after the date. I think it was the 19th or the 20th. So, he said it's impossible for that car to be there on that day. However, when Kininda was testifying on the 29th of November 2024, he said something else which was totally different. I want you to listen to what Brigadier Kininda said on that day. Just watch.
All right. So, my lord, that's not true. First of all, that did not happen. So, I would want to answer from the 19th moving backwards.
Okokuqala nje angisho nje ukuthi lokho akusona iqiniso uma ngiphendula-ke ngizoqala-ke kusona i-19 ngibuyele emuva-ke.
So on the 19th of June, my lord, 2020, it is incorrect that there was such an incident because Sergeant Mukula, I want to start with her, she was taking, I think, accused number 1 to court, and the charge sheet, the defense is in possession of the charge sheet insofar as the drug-related matter. So that morning, she booked the accused from Valeria to Tembisa Court, and then the accused was taken back on that specific day, on the 19th of June 2020.
Ngazo i-19 kaJune 2020-ke ilanga lelo-ke uSergeant Mukula angiqale ngaye-ke akhipha ngalo-ke uma ngaphosisi-ke umsolo wokuqala emikisa noma emhambisa-ke emkhipha kumasela ase-Valeria emhambisa enkantolo yaseTembisa. Cabanga ukuthi-ke abameli banayo-ke ne-charge sheet yangalelo langa lelo.
The defense, my lord, is also in possession of the relevant entry books, OB entries, that confirms that indeed accused 1 was booked from the police station for court purposes and back. The time is clearly indicated there.
Futhi-ke abameli banawo-ke namakhophi-ke alama-OB books noma ley'ncwadi ey'setshenziswayo ekubhala kuzona-ke police station noma kumasela ey'chazayo ukuthi ngesikhathi esithize-ke wakhishwa-ke wabese futhi eseyabuyiselwa. Abameli banawo lawo makhophi lawo.
And on that specific day, my lord, she was not issued at that stage with a BMW. She was driving a red VW GTI, which was the car that was issued by me as a commander for her utilization.
Ngaleso sikhathi leso-ke wayengahambi-ke nge-BMW, wayehamba-ke nge-VW GTI ebomvu ngombala eyakhishwa yimina-ke nanjengomphathi noma-ke ikhomanda yakhe.
Furthermore, my lord, I was not with her on that specific day. I was doing my admin duties at the national office, and I was nowhere near her during the course of the day.
Futhi-ke ngalelo langa lelo ngangekho ndawonye naye-ke mina ngangenza-ke imisebenzi yami-ke ehhovisi e-national office angikaze nje ngisondele-ke kuyena-ke noma ngisebenze eduze la akhona ngalelo langa lelo langeyi-19.
The only time we met, my lord, was later that evening, say late afternoon, when we proceeded to follow the investigation insofar as the hood is concerned of accused number 2. That was the only time we were in the same vehicle, and we met accused number 2 with the members in Phuket. That was my first.
There you have it. Kininda said there was a red GTI Polo on the day, which is a total contradiction from what Baloyi is saying now. Remember that Kininda says that because he was also running away from a BMW that was allegedly driven by Mukhane. So Kininda said there was a Polo because he didn't want to say there was a BMW because it did not fit in with the narrative back then when he was testifying. So the state keeps on adding these cars as they go because they are lying. You see, the problem with the lie is that once you lie once, you have to keep on lying in order to protect the first lie, because lies have short legs. If you tell the truth once, then you won't have a need to come up with a story. So now, we now know that there was that GTI Polo on that day. The same story that was told by Umusibiya when he testified. I think it was during the trial, within the trial. So the evidence of Gwabini has now been corroborated by Umusibiya. because on the day Mosby was arrested, we were told that there was a red Polo which was driven by Mogani. So uyabona ukuthi uGininda and Baloyi, they've got a script, but the script that they've written comes out short because at some point one of them will forget ukuthi ufana athini, because that's what happens when you have a script. So uyabona licala kunzima. So now if Advocate Baloyi can lie about the red Polo, can you imagine how many other lies has he told in this case? Can you imagine? And one of the biggest lies that Baloyi and his friend have told, it is about the gun that was used to shoot Senzo Meyiwa. Baloyi and Chris Mangena are telling the court that the bullet that shot Senzo Meyiwa came out of a 9mm, forgetting that people that in the house had said the gun that shot Senzo had a wheel, meaning that it was a 38 special. So now their lie was exposed there as well. How did they come up with that lie? When they were writing a script for this case, they forgot that Gadla Mncube's gun is a 9mm, not a 38 special. So now, initially they told the people in the house to say the gun had a wheel. But now, when Mangena comes to court, he can no longer reconcile that evidence because now they forgot that Gadla Mncube did not have a 38 special. So now the statements that were written by the people in the house can't be changed now because they said them at the time. So now if they change their statements about Longo, no Kelly, then it's going to be clear that they are lying. So the state went ahead and told us about this gun that shot Senzo. But we know for a fact that on the day that Senzo was shot, many police officers came into the house and searched for the bullets and the bullet jacket in the house. They found none. They only found the bullet jacket on the following day, which was a Monday, a day after Senzo was shot. How is that possible? Clearly that bullet was planted in the crime scene just to implicate someone else. That's how the state operates in this case, which is a very bad thing. Okay, now I want you to listen to the second lie that we were told in this case. Remember that we were told by Gininda that they cannot find the AVL of certain cars, including the cars of Constable Zungu. Remember that Constable Zungu, on the day that he allegedly went to the hostel, he was driving a police car. So a police car is fitted with an AVL. How do we know that? Because all police cars are fitted with an AVL. This was confirmed in the Madlang Commission of Inquiry by who? General Khumalo. I want you to have a listen to General Khumalo and then we'll come back and talk about it. Just watch it, please.
It is the policy of the South African Police Service to have all vehicles fitted with an internal tracking system, which is referred to as AVL, so as then we are able, especially during complaints investigations and our type of investigations, we are able then to have our work easily cut out.
Voila. Another lie exposed in the Madlang Commission of Inquiry. So clearly, Baloyi, Gininda, and the rest of the state, they lied when they said the car that was driven by Constable Zungu had no AVL. They lied about the other cars that they said they had no AVL, like Abo Nissan and so on. But AVL are welcome because those cars were not fitted with an AVL. But we've heard from the general now, General Khumalo, who is third in terms of the ranking within the SAPS. As you know, it is Umasemula on top, Shadrack Sibiyu number 2, then Khumalo number 3, nabanye. So clearly, the state is lying to us. The state is lying about the AVL. Why are they hiding the AVL? Clearly, they're hiding the AVL because it will show that Constable Zungu never went to the hostel. Had Zungu been into the hostel, the state was not going to be afraid to bring those AVL records of Constable Zungu. So we are going to ampush anamanga ngathi. So now if you still believe ukuthi the state is right about docket 636, ayangazi ngempela ukuthi inkinga kuphi. Hayi. Because it's clear now that the state is full of lies. The state is a liar. One thing that they could not cook that I'm happy about it is the DNA evidence, because it is not sourced within the SAPS. They have to get it from a private doctor or a doctor that is not a policeman. So they cannot cook the DNA evidence. And what do we know about the DNA evidence? It said all 5 men that before court were not in that house. How did it say it? It said it before because the result came back and said the sample taken from the house did not match any of the accused. Therefore, they were not there at the crime scene. If the DNA exclude them, then it's clear that these guys are not the shooters of Senzo Menyuwa. So the state has to go back to the drawing boards, because the DNA is clear and unambiguous. And Urata cannot ignore it. Because a DNA is scientific. Unlike human beings may forget because their brain is limited, but science does not lie. DNA does not lie. Abo Gadla, Abo Ntuli, Abo Mapisa, Abo Ntanzi, Usibiya, they were not at that house when Senzo was shot. How Senzo was shot? He was shot by Ulongo Thwala, allegedly. That came from a statement Sika Mlungisi Hlophe. Mlungisi Hlophe said, when Senzo was shot, Tumela Madala phoned him and told him ukuthi Senzo has been shot. Ngephutha edutyulwa ubani Ulongo Thwala. So now they came up with this intruder theory just to protect Ulongo Thwala, because he comes from a powerful family, from the Thwala family. We know who's the Thwala family. It is Mndeni kabani kaChiko Thwala, the same Chiko Thwala that had a meeting with Shadrack Sibiya weeks after Senzo was shot. What was that meeting about? Clearly, it was about Ulongo Thwala, because Usibiya wayengekho khathi kuDukulu Senzo. This is the same goes for Chiko Thwala wayengekho khathi kuDukulu Senzo. Who was there? It is Ulongo Thwala, the son of Chiko Thwala. So in that meeting, they were clearly arranging how can we cover up for Long? How can we make sure that Long is not charged? How can we make sure that Ulongo Thwala is protected? And then we know Advocate therefore alleged that Ulongo Thwala bribed Shadrack Sibiya something million so that he can shut up and make sure that Ulongo Thwala is protected. And I believe Advocate therefore comes to that. Why? Because we know now things about Shadrack Sibiya. We have been listening to the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry. We have been listening to the ad hoc committee in Parliament. All sort of allegations against Sibiya. So Sibiya is not a man that you can trust. So I trust therefore more than Sibiya. So I believe them. Uchiko Thwala had a meeting to discuss the bribe. And the good thing is that Sibiya does not dispute he met Chiko Thwala. But he says he met Chiko Thwala because he wanted to discuss this case of Menyuwa, to find out how was the investigation going. So why would Chiko Thwala be interested with the investigation in Hambaranjan? Clearly, he wanted to see are they close into discovering the truth about his son Ulongo Thwala, or what? That was the meeting about. And then again, the allegation by therefore, what happens thereafter, the million or whatever. Then kodwa ukuthi uChiko no Sibiya bahlangana, it's a fact, and Sibiya has confirmed it himself. So siyawazi lokho kuphikiswa lokho. So ke uyabona this case kunabantu abaningi abangena abazifakayo ungafanele. Why? Because they want to cover up for abantu ababathandayo. Clearly, the sad thing about this case is that Senzo's friends, Utumelo and Mthozisi Thwala, are part of this lie now. Why? Because they promised certain things, which is very sad because abantu laba ngathini, those that were friends from early age, so now bamjikele ngoba esefile because of whatever reason le abayaziyo bona. It is very sad. But from these three things that I've mentioned, we can see what the state lied. Firstly, they lied about the red polo. Secondly, they lied about the gun issue. Thirdly, they lied about the AVL. Constable Zungu, but moto yakhe engena AVL on the day. But General Kumar has confirmed it in the Madlang Commission of Inquiry ukuthi all police cars are fitted with an AVL because it is the procedure of the SAPS. So siyazi manje, ngiyasphikisa. But when you still think ukuthi hayi these guys are guilty. Wey maye babo. Hey, ukuthi nobona mase kunjani angazi. But the case continues, and I'm hoping that uthi once the case resumes after this thing about the statement sika Gwabini, or when that is over, the next witness, Makubo, he must also come and expose the lies that are contained in Docket 636 because he knows the case in and out. He will expose more lies by the state that that is why Makubo was persecuted after he opened Docket 75. He even resigned from the Hawks because the police charged him with so many things. Firstly, they charged him with defeating the ends of justice, and then they said no, he lied about what and what not. However, in the end, when he was in court, he won all those cases because those cases were fabricated against him. So Makubo is the man that I can call a honest policeman. He's more like Tatamgwanas. So I'm hoping that once Gwabini is done, he comes and expose more lies Tinesga was. But he knew was because he was part and parcel of the initial investigation of this case. So he knows this case inside out. Ukininda, siyazi ukuthi okay, he allegedly stole that statement by Mlungisi Hlophe and hid it for about 4 years. However, Makubo exposed him. He even opened a case against Kininda, but that case did not go far because Kininda is a powerful man, as we know. But Makubo is the man. And thereafter, Joyce Buthelezi, the same with her. She did not believe this nonsense of Docket 636 because when she interviewed those witnesses that were in the house, they told different things, meaning that they contradicted each other. And how is that possible? You only contradict yourself if you are lying. So Joyce Buthelezi saw through their eyes ukuthi hayi bona abantu banamanga. But sizobona as the case continues, more evidence will come and prove ukuthi labantu abachajiwe they are innocent. Thank you for watching.